we do the shared chat?
Yes. Yes.
S'il
Yes.
vous
Yes.
plaît.
S'il vous plaît. I'm just gonna copy things that you say. Okay. Awesome. CKB says hello. Chess Dojo
Hello,
says hi.
Cyrus. Hello, Zach. Hello, Chess Dojo.
Wow, Chess Dojo said hi. Okay, so I don't know if this is happening for you, but the Discord faces are covering my ability to send a chat.
You might have to move whatever.
I just don't know how to move the Discord faces on the OBS. Like, yeah, I don't know. I hope they fix it soon. I just need to type and pray that I type it correctly.
Yeah.
Okay. I really hope they fix this soon. Yeah.
You got it. Don't worry. Ooh. Yeah, this is making my life a little bit difficult too, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Walker. Hello, Ito Tito. Ito Tito.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, king of your stream.
All right. Looks like we're good here.
Hmm?
Hello, Rachel and Chair. Hi, Gary Loves Pizza. Streamers, say my name. It's fun to say. Ito Tito.
Hello, Art. Mm.
I am the king of your stream is crazy.
You don't see him all the time?
Nope.
I say the full
Only in
name
your
every
stream.
time for respect. Oh, okay.
I'm the king of your stream has never been in my stream. It's not the king of my stream.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not the king of Chess Dojo's stream yet.
Yeah. I'll believe it when I see it.
I suppose people could open all three chats separately and send messages from all three if they wanted to.
Yeah, they could.
They could. They would just, and it would go to the same chat, just have like a different little profile photo.
Right.
Yeah, so we would have three-peat, if you will.
That would be the way to be the king of all streams.
Yeah.
That's actually really true.
Open
Just
up
talk to
all
yourself
three.
on different streams.
Yeah. Bolster your own opinions. I think E5 is good. I think E5 is good too.
Yeah, E5 is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Do you all want to talk about random things for 5 minutes while people arrive, or should we get right into our episode?
Whatever. We could definitely wait a little bit. I know, I don't know. People are probably still trickling in.
Okay. Cool.
Maybe a couple minutes.
In that case, I have a question for you, Rachel. Were you at a chess lesson today?
Was I at a chess lesson today?
Yeah.
Was I teaching a chess lesson today, or was I receiving a chess lesson?
Anushka thought you might be coming from a chess lesson that you might have taught.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Really? I got it right?
I did teach. Yes, I did teach. I had the last day of a school that I teach at.
Nice.
And yeah, so said goodbye to all of them for the school year and all the sad and the reminiscing on all of the times. Yeah, it was nice.
Cool. How old are the kids?
Elementary school.
Nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
there's a 3-year-old in the class actually, and
God.
it's but it's like the first 3-year-old I've met. He's like so into chess, and every week the mom comes and the mom's like, all Nathan talks about is wanting to come to chess class, and then I see him from like across the room and he just like runs at me with like his arms out. He's like, chess! And I'm like, oh my god. And he just like comes and he just like wraps his arm around my leg, but he's like barely above my knee.
Right.
He's so cute. And he has these like super thick glasses and he's like, hello.
Oh.
And I'm like, there.
Oh, it's too much.
He's adorable. Yeah. And Yeah, he just plays all the older kids. Like he doesn't. A lot of times, like the kids complain about who they play. Like play them, I play them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, who do you want to play? And I have to try to like accommodate. But he'll just play anyone.
Yeah.
And like he loses and he doesn't mind. Like he's just so happy to play. Like he doesn't care. Like he's trying to get better, but he doesn't care if he wins or loses. He's just like hee hee chess hee hee. I'm moving the king around. I'm like, you're so adorable. And the mom is like, he likes chess a little bit too much. It's concerning.
I mean,
he needs to like socialize.
most kids his age just like a race car or something, right? I mean, this is pretty advanced.
Yeah.
I don't think she should be concerned.
Yeah, no, I was like, you need to get him private lessons, like you need to. And she was like, really? I was like, yes. Look at him. She's like, okay. So, yeah.
That's
I think his
crazy.
dad's like 1400, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've met almost no 3-year-olds who could play chess. That's pretty.
Yeah. No, I haven't either. Someone asked me, they're like, can you teach my 3-year-old? And I was like, I don't know what you want from me. Like we can try. And yeah, like it was not. Yeah. This is the first time. Yeah. Other than that 3-year-old that's like 1550 FIDE.
Right. From India somewhere.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
Cool. How long have you been teaching?
Since high school. Since like 17.
Wow.
So long time now. Just yeah. I was
Right
just
on.
like, I thought it was like, yeah, I was like, I wanted a job that pays more than minimum wage.
Mhm.
And I was like, I like chess, and then, yeah. So, yeah.
Cool.
But never taught anyone over like 800. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, you should be able to
Yeah.
get some of them
Have
over
you-
800.
Yeah. We'll see. I was gonna ask Bruce if you've ever taught like young kids, like at schools or group classes, that kind of thing.
Yeah. But in schools, I've never taught kids younger than 4 years old. At home, I taught.
Well, I mean, me neither, but
Yeah.
yeah.
At home, I sort of taught my kid to play when they were 2.
Yeah.
But we didn't get much beyond the basics. Yeah.
How old is your kid now?
10, 7, and 2.
Oh, wow. Aw.
Yeah.
Do they play chess or?
They don't really play anymore, no. They were curious to learn at age 2 and then never really played much after that. I think they're terrified of losing, honestly. I think that's the issue.
Mm.
That's pretty
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. Imagine
They
not
don't see how much you love it, and they're like, oh, maybe.
I don't know. But imagine not
See
doing
all
the
the
things
chess
you
books
like
all over the
best
house.
because you thought you might not win at them.
Yeah.
I did that for a long time.
And it
I think
was
chess is
lame,
the
right?
worst
Chess
thing.
or?
Yeah, it was pretty lame. I lived a pretty lame life. Chess was the first thing that I didn't think like that about. But I know a lot of people who still think that way.
Mm-hmm.
My age, like gifted kid types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's something wrong with my mic, so I might just pause for
I
a
think it
second,
sounds
try to
okay.
It
figure
sounds
out.
great to me. I'll just
Oh, it
put
is?
that out
Okay.
there, yeah.
Could be on.
Okay.
Could
Maybe-
be your issue.
Hmm.
And honestly, I would say
Okay.
now that you're leaned in, it's almost a little bit too
Too much.
much.
Okay.
I think it was fine
Okay.
when you were.
Okay. I think maybe I just need to turn you guys down because apparently they can't hear me on the stream.
Oh yeah.
okay.
Turn our balance
Is this-
down.
Yeah. Okay. Is this better, chat? Okay. Awesome. Cool.
Safety of
Okay.
the
Awesome.
drywall.
Cool.
Fellow dominant crab.
I'll always make jokes. I'll be like, oh, like when I have kids, like I'm gonna put like a pawn under their pillow type of thing. Like they're just gonna be like chess everywhere, where like they have no choice but to be interested. Like I'm not even gonna say anything, but like osmosis, just like around the house, like they're just like gonna learn it, and then my my friends will be like, they're gonna hate chess because you just
Yeah.
like shove it down their throat, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's so true, actually.
There definitely is chess all over our house, and it has not done any kind of osmosis effect. Like there's boards here, sets there, clocks there. I've got all these like clothes with chess pawns on them, and bookshelves full of books.
My mom did the same thing to me with computer science. She tried to teach me like really young and like really get me into it,
Uh-huh.
show me like conferences and stuff, and I just like hated it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also something nice, like, like I learned piano growing up, and it was so nice that my parents had never learned an instrument before.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they would just kind of like grew naturally. Like, I wonder what the dynamic would have been like if they were like piano players, for example. I don't know.
Mm.
They don't know how to play chess either, so I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of
Pros and
kids like
cons,
to have
maybe.
their own thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not get compared to a parent or a sibling who's already done it before them.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother stopped playing chess when I started playing chess, actually.
Really?
He was like 1,000, uh, I mean, like when I started, I was like 200. I was like really bad. And he was already like 900 on chess.com. He's like 7 years younger than me too, so like all of his friends play. Apparently, it's big in high school. Um, yeah, and then I started playing in it, and then I started getting really good. And I think my parents started talking about it at home, and then he just never wanted to play again. And I was like, really? Like, you could play with me?
Aw.
Yeah.
I don't have siblings, so I don't. People say these things, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I
sounds
don't
like a thing.
understand.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. She replaced her brother. Yes. Yeah. Are we ready to start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Endgame Sensei. Once again, thank you to Anushka and Rachel for doing their chess training in front of everybody so everyone can benefit and learn from it, and putting all their mistakes and their attempts out in public for everyone. Today we're going to do something different from the last two episodes. The last two episodes we focused a little bit on pulling interesting endgames out from our own games, and sort of that great experience that you get from replaying an endgame you've had in a game, how it both provides lessons that you're likely to remember and can prove to be therapy for painful losses. And today what we're going to try and do is I'm going to try and give even less assistance to Bloodqueen and Rachangel between games. I'm going to try and have them play a faster time control. Again, you can adjust all these things with sparring. You can play fast, you can play slow, you can talk a lot, you can talk a little, etc. We're going to try and speed it up a lot so we get more reps in and see what we can learn by playing out the positions multiple times. And we're going to let the two players check in as much as they like, and I'm going to continue trying to throttle my input to see how far they can get without any help. So I'll give you a succession of positions, assuming that we finish one. I'm hoping we can get 2 or 3 positions done today with this speedy approach. We'll see. And basically, with each position, I'm going to ask you the evaluation before we play. Then you'll play. Then between games, check in with each other. Do you still believe whatever you thought the evaluation was, right? And when you reach a point where you both agree on the evaluation and sort of approximately the correct way to play the endgame, you will then tell me, we think it's this, and I will finally say yes or no. But first, we'll let you come to an agreement on that. Before we get into it, I've got one question. We'll see, it'll either prove or refute my point about learning stuff from the games we play ourselves. Do either of you feel like you remember some things about either or both of the end games that we've already played in the past episodes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah? You've retained some things
Yes.
Yeah.
from them? Cool. Okay, great. All right, so you see the first position I have for you today, right? Here in the classroom, do you see a king and pawn ending?
Yes.
Yes.
There's kings and pawns.
All right. I will tell you that it's black's move in the starting position, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just try and move something and see if I can. Okay, that also shows what direction the pawns are going.
Okay.
So this one here shouldn't be able to move on e4. It shouldn't be able to go back. All right. So it's black to play. And the first question is, what do you think the evaluation is? You can each take a minute. Folks in chat, you can think of what you think the evaluation is as well. Don't bias our players by giving a perfect answer just yet, but we can all reflect on it. What's the evaluation with black to move? And yeah. Okay. Anushka, evaluation.
I think black's winning.
Okay. Rachel, evaluation.
That is I'm not sure. There's some lines I'm like, okay, black's losing. Some lines I'm like, okay, this is drawn. Some lines I haven't
Losing.
seen the line yet where I'm like black's winning. So I haven't
Sounds
come
like
to
you
a
might
conclusion
have
yet.
to guess for now. So we'll start with a guess, and then once you've played it once or twice, your guess will get better.
Okay. I mean, it's just gonna be like a random um
Fine.
maybe I'll just say a draw.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So Anushka, you said black's winning, right? So you'll get black in the first game to show how you think black can win. Rachel, you can defend white's honor and try to draw the game. Have either of you ever played Bullet online?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. How about a time control of 3-0 unrated?
Okay.
Okay.
Just making sure you're capable of playing moves in 0 seconds if you need to.
I'm pretty
Okay.
slow. I'll like just warn everyone. I'm pretty grandma mode.
I'm pretty yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Could you send me the
So,
challenge? Sorry, wait. I'll be right
I'll
back
take the
really
fen
fast.
and I'll okay. So I'm
Okay.
playing as black.
Yeah.
And I'm keeping this classroom open and I'm going to play. Okay. Please don't make fun of me in the YouTube comments if this is losing for black.
So far, nobody's made fun of you on any day for anything you've done or said.
Not yet.
I have somebody here
Oh,
saying,
I'm also-
pretty awesome for you guys to be willing to do this in front of people. Cheers and good luck.
Aw, okay. Thank you. That's very kind.
Yeah. We can live with that.
Thanks. Yeah. Oh, it's a. This saves me like 3 seconds of time, but it's finally a normal time control that we're doing, so I don't have to like make it myself.
Go make custom time control.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also going to save you 20 minutes because the game's going to be 20 minutes faster. Than the
Oh
games
yeah,
last time.
it's true.
Oh boy. Take every minute to look at this position until we start.
I mean, I'm sending it now. Are you chill with
Oh,
that?
you sent it? Oh yeah, send it, yeah.
Okay.
I
I'm
just
sending it. Sending.
okay.
I'm going to leave the Discord down for a moment.
Oh my god. I should have aim trained before this. My hands are shaky.
Okay. All right.
Oh, are we Discord muting too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or are we? Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
All right, and they are off, folks. Anushka started with G5.
I think the Fen put it as white to move.
Yeah. Need to restart the thing.
Yeah. Oh wait, is it because this pawn was not here? This pawn was on G6.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. The pawn. Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
my bad. I got that from the classroom. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Oh, I can't roll it back. I think David might have to press this. Oh, okay. And then I download this. Sorry.
I'm just gonna trust
No,
them
it's
to
okay.
figure it out.
Okay. Take all the time you need, personally.
Thanks, Rachel. I really appreciate it.
Um.
Custom position. I mean, I feel kind of like I feel worried that I thought it was a win and you don't. Why is it doing that? Why is this the wrong position? It's wrong.
Maybe here. Wait. I have an idea. Oh wait. But he has to give us access to the classroom because I can edit it so it's like a new position. David, you're
No,
also
it's
muted, by the way. Or
I'm copying it from the right position, but when I paste it, it's the wrong position. That's the thing. But can I edit this?
just I can just
8,
redo it on the
Wait,
worst case.
5K P1. Okay, so then I instead of 8, I want 6 P1, right?
Yep.
And then instead of 5K P1, I just want 5K 2.
Exactly.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Finally, a second person somebody who knows how to use Fen. I'm sorry about it being rearranged. On my screen, I moved it back to G6, so I don't know why it's still on G5 for you.
It was in the classroom, it was like that too, but when
Yeah.
I downloaded the Fen, it gave me the wrong one. So yeah. But okay, I feel like a hacker. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute. Is that okay, Rachel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bonne chance.
Ooh, bonne chance, slipping in the French. They're both learning French as well as chess. Let's watch this game.
Still my turn. Still my turn.
I didn't change that part of the Fen. This is such a shit show. Sorry, David.
It's okay.
It's
okay.
It's all right. I'll find other players for next episode.
No.
I'm just kidding. You're miles ahead on technology compared to what normally happens with Jesse and me.
Okay. All right. 2, and then I want this to be a B. A B, Anushka. I don't know what 012 means. But I don't need to. So I'm just gonna hope that I did that right and send the challenge.
Oh, maybe it is black to win. Or maybe black does win. Sorry, did you send it to me?
I did. Yeah, it should have sent. Are you in play?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll
You're
get there,
not-
everybody. Don't worry.
Not getting it?
I don't see it.
Well, that sucks.
Games.
It really would help if I had the foresight to copy these Fens after I meticulously edited them, but no, I just have to edit them every time.
I can just recopy the position.
That's right,
okay.
Michael Kang. We're going to be
Now
discussing.
I have it.
I don't
like
see
and send
it.
it
They're
as
gonna
many
be
times as
playing
you'd
it.
like.
Okay.
They're going to be practicing
Fenway
playing it,
Park
and we're
over
going to
here.
discuss it.
Should have sent. Should have. I hope this is at the very least entertaining, chat. This is it's not It's not a Twitch stream if it's not. This is going fantastically. Thank you, Screws, for that pun. Did you still not get it?
I don't get it. I didn't get anything.
If you're not in live, I'm gonna.
I'm in play.
Yeah, if you're
Play
but
online.
you should be getting it. Unrated. I play as black. Black
Play
to
a
move.
friend.
No, not play a. Why is it not?
I don't see any
Can't-
challenges. Okay.
It says can't create a challenge with an invalid initial position. Okay, you send it. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe you just have like the plague on my fingers or something. It is Anushka very good.
Chess.com hates you. 3-0.
Yes, 3-0, please.
Okay. All right. One moment.
Un momentito.
If it's black to move, does the fen have to be 8-8? Is it like that? Is it like the first rank is at the top and you like list it like that if it's black to move? Is that the
It
difference?
always starts with the 8th rank, whether it's black to move or white to move.
Okay, then why
In
did it
Fen.
say I had an invalid initial position?
I don't know.
This was my
Play
fen.
as white.
If someone wants to debug my fen,
Bloodqueen.
feel free.
8, 8, 6, pawn 2, 5, king.
Okay, I sent it to you.
Okay.
Oh, it's 6, pawn 1. That's what's wrong with your fen.
That is what's wrong with my fen. Thank you, David.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Sent you.
Chat. I got it. I got it.
Okay,
Goodbye.
goodbye.
All right, so Anushka is finally able to put in the move she wants. She plays king to g4. Heading in. All right, I'm not going to reveal the evaluation just yet. We'll let them play it out once or twice. We'll do the reveal once they have agreed on something. Game aborted. Okay, brilliant. Managed to restart it. Hi, Greg. They'll get it. They'll get it. All right, so right now, black has a little bit of a conundrum. The pawn they wanted to capture is defended. This pawn can't move. If this one moves, it seems white will take it. If the king moves almost anywhere, white's next move might be king takes pawn. Does kind of look like a Zugzwang, yeah. Zugzwang is when you have to make a move, but any move you make makes your own position worse. All right, we got a first win for white.
Don't even
Okay.
play it out.
I got
I guess
dug.
it's-
Wait, but okay. Okay. So I was wrong.
I just think as soon as you play king f3, I just need to be ready to play king d4.
Well, yeah,
And
but
then-
I can't even go to king g4 cuz I get dugged. You know? Like my
Yeah.
first move was bad.
Yeah, what
But-
about
but
g5,
I don't have a-
first move?
I didn't like this when I saw it. Like
I was seeing like, I mean, a draw is g5 takes, king takes, and then king. Like, I don't know. You take the pawn, like the king takes, the white king takes e4, and then the black king lands on e6, and there's a draw somewhere in some lines. Yeah, I didn't see a
Wait.
way for black, or I don't see.
wait, how is the white king getting to e6?
Oh, just like a, I don't know, just
Like takes here, like here, here. You get dugged, right? So let's say you go here. Oh, so then if they go to f6, king takes,
yeah,
king e6, draw.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I missed this. I also like. Yeah. Okay. I think you're right. I think this should be a draw. Then I'll still try to.
I mean, what moves? Yeah, there has to be some kind of like triangulation or something. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm just playing things out.
Here,
This is not a
here.
move.
It's just like, because white has d4 and d5, and then potentially e5. I don't know. I don't
I
see a
mean-
way to win for black.
White's only way to. Yeah, I don't either. White's only way to not lose is to take there, and then.
What about just king e6, king d4, king f6, sorry, king e6, king d4, king d6
When?
takes, and
Like
then king
after the
e6.
opposition?
Yeah, I don't know. And
Okay.
you just keep the opposition. No, that's not it. Yeah, you lose. Black loses. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a draw, but we can play it out again. Maybe from
Yeah.
the
Maybe white wins
episode.
in some lines. I
Well,
mean,
if black blunders, possibly in those lines, but I think it's a draw with best play.
Okay. So
okay.
going into game two, what's your current evaluation, Rachel?
Uh, probably a draw.
Okay.
Or
And Anushka
yeah.
also says a draw. So let's play another game, and
Like,
we'll keep going till you're feeling kind of confident.
I feel like it's easier
Okay.
for white, or it's easier for black to mess up, or like there's more opportunities for black to lose this than white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to put the fen in? I just like manually put
Yeah.
it, but if you
No, I got it.
okay.
Custom challenge.
I wish we could hear David's internal dialogue as he watches this.
You
I would
can.
like to
You
hear
can go
that.
to his channel. Yeah. It's actually very entertaining because yeah, sometimes
I need
we
to
mess up
look
real
back
bad.
at the first. I haven't looked back at any of his. I need to do that. I feel like I'm gonna be enlightened.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Just
enlightened,
remember to
but
be kind to yourself.
there'll be some information in there somewhere.
So I'm playing white this time?
Yeah.
Wait, okay. And so
Shit, I don't know what to do. That's black. I feel like
Didn't we
G5
just look
is
at
a
it?
shot. Morning, Gazda.
Did you get? Are you getting it? I'm getting my challenge.
No.
Do you want to put the pen
Yes,
in?
I got it. I got it. I got
Drug
it.
dealer Rachel. Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, here comes the next game. Let's see where they take it. Rachel's got black for the first time here. Ah, they got the colors wrong, though. We're going to have to restart in a second. Oh, there we go. It did let black move first. Great. All right, so Rachel goes for her suggestion of g5. She's claimed that if she trades one pawn, white will win the e4 pawn, but she'll always be able to get her king to e6, get the opposition, and hold a draw. So that's the idea. So she trades one pawn. Taking a while in the recapture. Being careful. It's good not to get stuck too much in your assumptions, by the way. I mean, I laugh about the recapture a little bit, but it's good not to be stuck in your assumptions. You've got 3 minutes, and you got to do what you have to do. It's weird that it keeps showing me like black's clock ticking when it's white's move. I don't know what's up with chess.com. Game aborted. I don't know what's going on.
My bad.
Okay, I'm gonna restart it. It's fine. Looks like it's running. So there starts. G5 takes, king takes. Probably Anushka's thinking and chess.com showing Rachangel thinking because of a bug. There, now it shows Bloodqueen's move. Rachel defends the pawn, and black gets zugzwanged, right? Can't keep the king on the pawn. But she steps back to f6 on the principle that when she takes on e4, she wants to be able to go to e6. All right, so this, I think we all know is a theoretical draw, but we'll let them blitz it out a few moves and see if they've got it down. Yeah. Both smiling as they play it out. You always want to be able to give the opposition, so when white plays king e5, it's important to always step straight back with your king, as Rachel's doing. Seems she knows some king and pawn endings. She's executing this relatively quickly and confidently. So that's very nice to see. Let's unmute over here.
Right. That was a draw. There has to be some kind of triangulation. Like maybe I don't know.
Yeah, like
I think
a
maybe
shoulder
everything
or
draws
something.
except for one line, is my guess. Yeah. Thanks for the tip
I'm
for
trying to
watching Chess. The
figure it
commentary is
out.
amazing. Yeah, there has to be some kind of triangulation that works, I think.
After you take on G5, maybe I could go like not directly towards the pawn and like try to shoulder your king. That was the one thought I had. But I don't even think that really works, right? Because I just have to be able to take the pawn and defend my pawn the minute you attack my pawn. But like is that like let's say I mean okay, here I'm taking King C5, I take the opposition. And then here I also take the opposition. Here, maybe I go here. No, but then I just do yeah, I don't see a way for white to make progress.
So this is what Anushka's talking about: distant opposition. Normal opposition, there's one space between you. Distant opposition, there's three spaces between you, but the kings are on the same color square. And so she's just showing she can maintain opposition distantly, which is true.
Yeah, and these two, anytime my king steps onto d5, then your king will step onto f6, and that's like a corresponding square. I guess I could try to manufacture a situation where you can't do that. Uh, but there isn't really, because you have two squares that your king can stay on that. Well, what if well, now I can go here. Okay, wait. So if your king is on f5 and my king goes to d5 and your king goes to f6, that's exactly what I was talking about. And then if I follow your king, like let's say I do this, right? You can just like keep following me. So I don't really see a way to win as white.
Yeah, I'm stuck. It's just that like the fact that white has d4 and d5 kind of makes it really hard. Like we can't defend the pawn, like we can't really defend the e4 pawn like two moves in a row. You know, like we can only go from f5 or like f3 for example, but we have that g4 move in the middle that kind of just like ruins a lot of things, I think.
Wait, sorry. Are you talking about for black to win?
Yeah.
You're saying that
Or like
okay.
I'm just saying like, you know, like the white king can just oscillate from like d4 to d5 and it's always attacking the black pawn, but black can't do the same to defend it. Which is just not fun to deal with, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure, really. I don't see a way forward.
So do you have an agreement, or do you want to play more?
I think we have an agreement, but
I
I
think
feel
it's a
like I'm missing
draw.
something stupid. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So don't hesitate too much, Anushka. I know like it's easy to read into things like, oh, there must be a trick, or you know, he's trying to set up a thing where people laugh at me, or I must be missing something. But you can have some confidence in here, and it's fine in sparring to some extent to rush headlong into a mistake and learn something from it. Okay?
Okay.
Totally fine. You're both correct. It's a draw. And the way I would summarize this is that in the very starting position, white's going to be able to play like king d5 and king d4. So if black tries to win, they're basically going to lose. Right? Like the idea that you first play bringing the king to f3, it's going to lose because white can attack the e-pawn twice. The way I would look at the starting position, the e-pawn for black is already dead. There's no way to protect it already, right? Because the white king already has access to d4 and d5. It's already flanking that pawn. So knowing the pawn's already dead, you want to trade the g-pawn so that you can draw a theoretical endgame down one pawn. Just as you executed in this last game. Okay? So I'm going to give you a new endgame now.
Okay. Wow.
Let's keep going.
Very fast. David could give Anushka and Rachel a bear king v king endgame, and Anushka would be looking for a trap.
I see it. I see it.
Well, if he gave it to us, then it's for a reason.
Must be a reason, right? People read too much into that. I like to
He's
buck
tricky.
expectations.
Tricky.
Oh.
I don't because I really don't want in lessons or in practice or anything for people to be trying to extrapolate from external circumstances what it should be, you know?
Oh,
Like it
metagame.
says it's 5 stars, or I know it's a tactic, or I know there's a win or something like that, right? In real chess games, you never have that most basic guidepost, and if you did, it would be so helpful. You know, like if I were as yeah, I mean, some top players have said that in order to be like 100 or 200 points stronger and be like the best player in the world, all they would need is for someone to like once a game tell them you're winning or you're not winning. So they would know whether or not to go for things. Because we all, like all masters pretty much see what the main options are in most positions, right? Every now and then there's a real surprising move, but most of the time, you know, you're looking at something and you're like, does it work or not? And you can't quite tell, but you know what the key line is. And if you just knew that you were winning or drawing or losing or whatever, you could go for the right line. So so don't assume that anything I give you is hard or easy or drawing or winning. Like if it starts off black to move, that doesn't mean black's the one trying to win, right? It could be winning for white against any defense for black, but I have it start as black to move, etc. This one here, I think, starts as black to move. Let me try and move a pawn just to test it like I did before. That also shows us which direction the pawns are going. Okay, so this one's black to move. You all get 1 minute to think about it and provide your evaluations.
Okay.
Also, Davina's in the chat. Hi, Davina.
Hi, Davina.
Yeah, I don't think we can move the piece. I guess it doesn't matter, but
Yeah, you
I
don't
don't
need to
have
move
access.
it. Just put all your money on an evaluation and stand by it
And it's black to move.
until you change your mind. Yep. Okay, I forgot to watch the clock carefully, so let's assume that's been about a minute. Rachel,
Okay.
eval.
It's not enough time. I mean, like, you know, off the bat, you'd think that black has to be winning.
Right.
Or like at least like black is fighting for a win. Even if it might be a draw, I think black is fighting for a win, and I think white is just hanging on. I really just need like a lot of lines I'm looking at. Like there's like pretty similar promotion timings, so I just need to look at
This is
the way that it
super long for an
transposes,
eval.
but-
I was kind of hoping for black wins.
Oh.
It's a draw. White
Sorry.
wins.
I'll say black wins.
Okay, Anushka.
I think it's a draw with best play.
All right. So we'll give Rachel the first chance to try and win it as black. 3-minute game, unrated.
Was this a meta game? Did you just want to play black?
I just said I have no idea what the eval is, so I just said something random. So
Okay. It's okay. I'm joking.
I mean, just for reference, if it is a win for black for some reason, and she wins the game because she got the black pieces. She hasn't really beaten you in anything, right? Like you didn't get a chance to play black. We're just learning.
True. Trying to download the original Fen again, but it's not giving it to me.
I
It's
can
giving me
send you a fen if that would speed things up.
possibly. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Black to move. I play as white, and I need it. Playing in Vegas, unfortunately not. Did you get it?
Um, yes, yes. That's
Okay.
about it. Okay, bye.
Looks like the game's starting. I'm going to try and mute myself, folks. All right. So it shows white's time ticking, but it should be Rachel's time ticking. Rachel should have black in the first game because she thought black could win, and she's going to play the first move. Chess.com is going to continue to always show the wrong clock running, but we'll see how it goes. You're getting echo, Greg? I don't hear anything from them even once, much less twice. Ash, yes, of course I'm following Norway chess. I'm a chess player. I'm an extreme chess player. All right, looks like the pawns might both queen. This is what we call a race in chess. When each player is running a passed pawn at the same time, it's a race. And that's a kind of endgame in general. It's a type of endgame, are race endgames. They're endgames where each side is really pushing a passed pawn on a different side or area than the other. Often they don't really try and stop each other. So black queen first, right, in this situation. Black queen first. But now it's on black to make use of that one extra tempo, right? They have to now win king and queen against king with some kind of powerful move. Sometimes king and queen against king and queen can be winning, but you need a very specific sequence, right? You have to have like a 2 or 3 move sequence that beats them right away. Any normal scenario is going to be a draw. Welcome to the dojo, chess coach Andras. Wow. What a mighty... Oh, and with a raid, too. Thank you, Andras. I'm in a weird stream together, modern scenario where I can't see things as well as normal. So thank you for the raid. Greetings, raiders. This is an episode of Endgame Sensei. So we've got two players sparring together, trying to get better at these endgames. Today we're doing faster games where they have a chance to play a few more times and see if they get close to the answer by playing faster. Last time we had them playing a slower time control where they can play the endgame better. Sometimes you get there faster by taking your time and thinking and playing a couple games. Other times you can get there faster by playing a bunch of games real fast and sort of drawing lessons from trying a bunch of different things. So, yeah. King to e7. Feels like my chat for me doesn't show up in this shared together chat. Well, that's weird. For anyone wondering, this is a draw. It's not really working out for white. All right, somebody in Dojo Twitch make a chat comment to test if I've just fixed what I had wrong. Thank you. So here, the white queen can get off the back rank. So there's really nothing to be done. Yeah, now I hear you, Reed Falia. Now I hear you, Dabo. Now I hear you, Eigen. Okay. Sorry, I had this messed up for a while. Greetings to all my friends out there. Good to see you all. All right. Stream together is new to me, so I was messing it up, of course. But now it's unmessed up.
Hello.
Hello, hello. All right, quick thoughts?
This is pretty much the only way I saw this going.
Mm-hmm.
What about king takes e4?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that because then I do the ready thing. I don't
What
think.
do you mean?
Let me not say that so, you know.
If you
Confident?
take on
King takes
f6,
e4 right away.
yeah. If you take on f6, I play king f4, and I think I win.
Oh, you're saying king e4 first?
Yeah. King takes e4 right now, and I think that I win.
Do you want to just
King takes f6.
Do you want to just try again if you still think you're winning?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Let's leverage the games to try and go quickly. Let's see how that works. We'll just try it.
Okay.
The games prove.
Okay, I just sent you a rematch.
Okay.
All right, we're off. King takes e4. So last game, Rachel tried h5, king f6, h4, e5. It looked like a drawn king and queen against king and queen. This time she's trying a new move, king takes e4. She has announced a plan of king takes f6, king f4. Let's see how quickly she executes it. Oh, she's pretty confident in the idea, or she's just following my lead and my comment that she should just try some things, you know, go a little faster, see what she gets. That pawn looks like it's going, gone, doesn't it?
Okay. I mean, I just like agree with her. I think this is winning, but the thing was auto aborting me, so
Okay.
I didn't have a choice. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So you see, sometimes we can get there quickly just by, you know, rematch, just play out a few more ideas and see where we get. Right? Mm-hmm. You are correct. This endgame here is winning for black with the sequence that Rachel found in the second game, right? But not the first game. Or I don't know if I missed who was white or black, but you know what I mean. The first game, what you played was drawing. In the second game, what was played was winning for black and was what I would call correct. So let me grab a third one for you since you're chugging along here.
You're chugging, chat.
Chugging.
Just find my way back to my classroom and add a new
That was the
position
first
there.
thing I looked at. I guess I didn't realize first thing I looked at was king takes e4, king takes f6, h5, king g5, and I was like, oh, that's a draw.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't consider. I was like, and then I was like, wait. Right after I was like auto boarding, I was like, wait, take 6 and I can play king f4. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
king f4 is a nice trick. It's kind of the opposite of the Reti thing, right? Like, it's the winning side of the Reti thing, like the tricky shoulder. By the way, the starting position's also winning for black with the first move, king e5, for anyone out there who guessed that move. Just throw that out there. There's a second winning approach where you just defend your f-pawn, and white is in a sort of Zugzwang situation. Okay, so here's your new position. It is white to play, and again, you get 1 minute to give us an evaluation, winning or drawing or losing, etc.
Okay.
Also, I think, Bruce, I think that there's some kind of echo in your stream,
Okay.
according to the chat. I don't know.
Maybe
According
we're
to
stream
chat.
together.
I don't know. We're all muted on stream together, so I'm not sure.
I'll switch to headphones then.
Okay. Sorry, this is white to play. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen this before, but I don't remember it. Of course I don't.
White wins. I don't know. White up 2 pawns.
Oh, do you already have answers?
Oh, I'm still thinking. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. I'm still, yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I think white wins. I think this is from Capablanca's um Endgames book. I think.
Okay. So we've got one answer. Do you have an answer too?
Um, I don't see I don't see like the line all the way through, but white winning seems right.
Seems right. Okay. Cool. We'll let Anushka play white first since she was more confident about it. But at the moment, you both think that white wins. We're going to play at least one game before making your answer official because it is sparring. We have to play. And I will send the Fen also in Discord for this one. There you go.
Merci beaucoup.
Delia. Delia.
Custom position. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm a god at this. Okay.
She's got confidence in one
Only
area at least.
yeah. It only took me three sessions. Yeah. Are you getting it?
I'm just reloading. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Okay. Goodbye.
Nice.
Goodbye.
Oh yeah, good reminder to goodbye. All right, folks. So they both think white's winning. Starting with the f6 check, you could also take black's pawn, right? So you could be up 2 pawns, or you could have a protected passer. Who out there prefers having a protected passer versus having 2 extra pawns? All right, the king steps back magically, not forward to challenge the white king, but backward. Some kind of distant opposition, perhaps. But if white goes king e5, the normal opposition square would be e7, which is not available to black. We'll see how it goes. King d5. Anushka tries to do some sort of a flanking anyway, trying to get around the black king. Or maybe she's figured out some deep corresponding squares or whatever. You know, Reed Falia, Chess Dojo, the brand, so to speak, was from Kostya, not from me. He came up with that name for it. Okay, Rachel runs away, giving Anushka access to the squares she desired. Interesting. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a martial arts background, and I don't think that Kostya or Jesse do either. But the name has worked nicely for us so far anyway. All right, so now I would call that diagonal opposition, what she's grabbed here. Rachel comes up blocking the pawn. So most likely she'll come forward and have like a side opposition here. She would love to come across. The king has to go to f8, by the way. Absolutely forced to, you know. If the king... Sorry, it's not letting me click through normally. If the king gets stepped away, then the white king comes closer, right? And then it's a goner. So you have to go king f8, 100%. Nice. Okay. I don't know if I can trust these chess.com clocks, but potentially Bloodqueen's used about 2 of her 3 minutes, and Rachel only about 30 seconds. So the defense so far is looking more confident, maybe, than the offense, or maybe it's just more responsibility on the person trying to win, you know? Anushka getting pretty low. She just advances the pawn and just hangs it, huh? And then backs away after giving black the opposition and a pawn. Interesting, huh? And now the king gets in, consumes the pawn, goes to the side. She's playing very quickly now, but I don't know if it's because she knows what she's doing or it's because she's low on time. Someone compliments them on the nice draw. But in fact, white is winning. Rachel looks happy, you think? Let me see. Because they're friendly, sometimes they smile when the other person wins. And then other times they're just laughing with their chat. Wow, that's a giant drink thingy. I have a normal sized human cup. Alright, finally the king steps aside. White's pawn's going to come forward. Zugzwang. And we get a queen. Wow. Exciting. Exciting.
Sorry, I messed that up. I thought that was a draw for some reason until I was like, oh, I have opposition. And I think I just play King G7 and I'm fine. Or sorry.
King G7?
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we
Where?
just go again then?
Okay, yeah, let's do it again.
After King E6. Yeah.
Okay. Anushka, you think you were winning, right?
I still think I'm winning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the exact right like motif,
Okay.
but yeah, I felt like I.
Well, let's try it again since Rachel thinks she can save that variation
Maybe.
for black.
I don't know, maybe I can't.
King E6. When did I go King E6? I'm just trying to find what you're talking about.
Move 7?
Oh, King D6? Sorry, that's my bad.
King D6, King F8, King E6, King E8.
Wait, sorry. King D6, King F8.
And you played King E6, right?
I played King D7 and you played King F8. Oh, the second time. Okay. King D6, King F8, King E6. And you think King G7 was a draw?
It's a better try.
But it's the same thing. Well, we can try it again, but I think it's the same thing.
Yeah. No,
you
no.
might
I
get
think
the
it's
answer
the same
faster
thing.
by just trying again.
Playing it? Okay. Yeah.
No, yeah, it is the same thing. Okay, but yeah, we can. I mean, we can play it again. It is the same thing, though.
Okay. Okay, great. Yeah. Then we found our answer already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's any other like different king's moves I could have done. Like maybe I try moving the king somewhere else. I don't know. If you want to redo it. And maybe instead of King E8, I play King E6 and C.
Yeah. You can also trade colors if you want.
Okay. Yeah, no, we can do this again and I'll just try a different
Okay.
king move.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, starting with the same move, F6 check. This time the king comes up. White steps aside. Black had the opposition. White just starts running away from the pawns. What? Where's the action, White King? Where's the action? Very confidently running away from this. But the idea is if Black follows, which Black didn't, right? But if Black follows, White would just queen the pawn. Yeah. So, King E6. shoot, it's not updating move. Sorry, king c5. Great move. Black can't come here because the pawn would queen, and black can't come there because the pawn's attacking e7. So now white takes over the... Well, they could have taken over the opposition with king d5. Instead, they're going to try and keep flanking. Now black takes side opposition, holding white off for a moment again. So white's got some work to do again. Okay. For a second, I was thinking that they were nailing it, so I was getting the next position ready. But I think there's still a little bit of a battle left here. Yeah, white's a little bit stalled out. Not sure how to go. Okay, f7, giving the pawn and then rushing after it. Okay, so we're going to get a similar position as before, actually. You know, in the end, the king didn't find a way in. We again sack the pawn. Black tries not taking the pawn this time. Funny, right? King d7. Let's black take it with the opposition. Steps back. White's a little bit low on time, but she's going to try and do the same thing now of pushing the king through the 6th rank to the g pawn, right? King g8, looking for some creative way to block the king, or maybe get out position once the king gets over here. Down to 17 seconds. Yikes. Okay, so now the king has to surrender f6. I don't know if folks know, but once the king's on any of these squares here that I'm putting in red, the g6 pawn's already dead. Any of those squares is enough to eventually win the pawn. And once you win the pawn, you can actually always queen with the pawn on the 6th rank. Let's rejoin group audio. All right. Bravely defended, Rachel.
Yes.
It's so nice being black. I don't have to find the win. It's just like there's there's not really much for me to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a beauty to just being the punching bag, right?
Yeah.
No, not punching
All you
bag.
have to do is stand there. No
Yeah,
responsibility.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you both think? Is this clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. White's winning.
Yeah.
For anyone out there wondering, f takes g6 on the first move is a draw. It doesn't win. The only way to win is to play f6, check, and then sack the pawn with f7. There's no other way to win. Other than
Wow.
you have to keep that pawn and then sacrifice it, and then you can walk your king to g6 by force. Your king only needs to be as close as where to force your way into g6. I think king on d6 is enough to win with the black king anywhere on the board. So f7, f8, and then boop, you walk in. Good job on finding that one, and let's keep going.
Okay.
So I'm going to introduce a new Fen here into our classroom.
Okay.
All right. So this one here
Whoa.
is going to be black to play. And yeah, as usual, you're going to have to pick an evaluation. I'm going to give you a minute and a half instead of a minute because it's gotten so much more difficult.
Okay.
Yes, Fartad Fareux, you're correct. You need the square more than the pawn. You need to be able to walk your king to the g6 square, and if you have your own pawn on the g6 square, you can't walk there. And if you've got your own pawn on the f6 square, it also keeps your king from walking to g6. So, yeah. That's a very good explanation of what's going on.
This is black to move, right? Just
This one is black to move, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
I think it's a draw. But I could be wrong.
So always possible.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you taking a stab at the evaluation either way. Rachel, are you ready?
I mean, I haven't found anything concrete, but I'll say that white is winning.
Okay, perfect. This isn't something where you can necessarily calculate it to the end in 60 seconds, right? It's partly a guess, kind of built into this one here. So, Rachel, you said white can win, so you actually get to play the side with the extra pawn this time.
Okay.
And so I'll send the Fen here again. So we'll have Rachel with white, Anushka with black, 3 minutes each.
Okay. Sent.
I don't
I'm
even
getting
know what
faster.
my first move is gonna be. Okay.
It's me to move.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. I was looking at black's point of view.
That's okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, they got it going on. We're going to mute and get into the commentary. So, chat, what did you think about the evaluation here? This one's not easy to evaluate quickly, right? So, chess.com forces you to make your first move pretty quickly. So, what are the candidate moves for black on the first move? I think the three main candidate moves are g5, h4, and king g4. That's my take. Yeah. I would not expect moving backwards to be good because for the most part, king and pawn endings are going to be lost when you're down a pawn. So h4 takes king g4, king e4. Okay. So black's going to be capturing this pawn, probably. Then at least f5 is a draw. So the only thing she needs to worry about is king e5, king f6, etc. It seems like black should survive, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like the king can come here, keeping an eye on the F pawn, and it's hard to imagine the white king getting to G6 in time. Well, it's pretty close, actually. It's pretty close. But my calculations showing currently a draw after king here, takes the pawn, king G4 before the white pawn can get past you. Or king here, or king here, H3, king takes H3, king F6, king back to G4. Those are kind of the main variations to me. If it were black to move here, would black be in Zugzwang? No, because black could probably play king here, and as long as they keep their king... Oh no, king here, H3, king G3, king F6 would be winning. It might be a mutual Zugzwang. That's a really cool question. If black had to move, would they be lost here? White plays king E4, looking to keep the maneuvers coming. I'm just going to wonder this question for a second. Black to play, if you go G5, F5, king H3, F6, G4, king F4. That's a loss. So G5, F5 looks lost. King H3, king F6, king G4, king G6, king F4, H4 winning. Wow. I think it might be a mutual Zugzwang here. Meaning, if it's white's move, they can't win. And if it's black's move, they lose. So you want the other player to move in either case. Beautiful. Draw great. Okay, quickly.
No playing
Moving
it
us
out.
forward.
Yeah, it's a draw. Can we try it
Yeah.
again where I don't take on H5? I just
Sure.
didn't know what to do.
Just do a rematch. Let's keep moving it forward. This one has a few more different avenues you can try going down.
Yeah.
I thought there was a cool try, like king e5, king takes h2, king f6. It looks like I have king g3, but then it looks like you have king g5. But then I don't know if this is what you saw, but then I can go king f3, and I keep contact with the pawn, and if you take, I take, and if you push. So yeah.
Wait, sorry. So after king H3, what did you say?
After king h3, if you go king e5,
Okay.
then I can take on h2.
Yeah.
And it looks like I'm too far away, but then you can go king, so you go king f6, but then I can like counterattack your pawn. I can go king g3, and then I thought like you take, I take, but then I saw that you can go king g5, and I was like, oh no, she's defending her pawn and my pawn, but then I can still go king
You just go
f3.
king F. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So I
it's
thought
very
that was a way I
important
could have.
you know that king g5 technique, because there are a bunch of king and pawn endings where that move like wins the endgame. The stepping back and defending your pawn, and then taking their pawn next move is a winning technique. I've even used it on Endgame Sensei before. Maybe Anushka's seen it. But,
I don't know.
because I know she's seen some old episodes. But yes, that comes up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's try again.
Okay. Goodbye.
All right, so back to it. Trying h4 again from black. And it's white who needs to try something different, right? Because last game, white only got a draw, and white wants to win. So this time, white does not take on h4, and instead she plays king f3. It did seem like g takes h4, king h5 was fairly conclusive, right? But there was one important try for white that they didn't think of there. In this position here, you have to calculate this move h5. And neither of them has thought about that move yet. The point is, if pawn takes, you could come here, and then your f pawn's going. And if king takes, then the king has stepped out of the way here, and maybe there's something new for white to try, right? So king f3 has tried this game, hg3, hg3, and now black's going to be thinking about g5 or just sitting still at this point, right? Obviously, black wants to trade pawns. That's the desire. If they can get to king and single pawn against king here with their king in front of the pawn, it is a draw. But the concern for black is going to be g4 check, pushing the king back and getting a protected passer, similar to what they've just played out once, right? So g5 is tried. Okay, in comes that try. g4 check. Anushka backs up, and I imagine Rachel's going to push the pawn here. Well, I'll say this, if she doesn't push the pawn here, it's definitely a draw. If you let black trade, that'll be a draw. There we go, the pawn push. That's correct. Making the protected passer. Chat your guesses at this point. Do you have any instincts of whether or not white's winning in this position? Or maybe some of you have even calculated it and you know. Yeah, white is winning once they get this protected passer extra here. There's no way. Black's king is on the leash of the pawn, so they'll always eventually lose the opposition. Now, in the previous games, they didn't seem so clear on how to win the opposition with white using a pawn that controls one of the squares the opponent's king can go to. But you can always get the opposition in this endgame, right? Eventually, white can bring their king to e5 using the opposition. And then you can play f6 and king f5. And one row back in the previous game that they played, that would be a stalemate. But here, because there's two files, or two rows, two rows, you always have room to play f6, king f5, take the g-pawn, come back with the king, and you've got two connected passers together at that point. So yeah, so king here. What doesn't work in this position, though, compared to the other one, is this pawn sack never works now. You can always get into the winning square to win the pawn, but this position's always a draw, because whenever you take the pawn, black holds with the opposition like that. Okay, so king f6, white can come up and come up. Needs to go a little faster, but basically she's doing it correctly. Looks like she's going to flag instead of winning. Or maybe it's not showing it to me correctly. There we go. f6 check, king over to f5. That's the right technique, and there's room. And notice how that exact position, right, that would be a stalemate if there weren't the extra rank behind it. So the winning technique is different in the two cases. There's a lot of lag on these clocks. They're super inaccurate. But in any case, white executed a correct winning technique. So that's nice.
Hello.
You think I'm gonna stalemate you or what?
No, I was just trying not to flag. Dude, I had
Okay.
16 seconds. I didn't even realize.
Fair enough.
All right. So.
Also, yes, I did wonder if you were gonna stalemate me.
Aha. The truth. It's good. It's good to test each other. All right. So we've got one draw and then one win.
Yeah.
So things are not super clear yet. Who wants to play what color next?
You can try. I wonder, did you calculate after king e5, king e5, king e3? Did you calculate king d5, king d3, king e5, king c4, and then king
Alright.
f4?
King e5, where?
Sorry. After move 6.
Oh, I play king e5, you play king e3. Got it.
Yeah, and then you played king f6.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure after king d5, king d3, king e5, king
Yeah.
c4, king f4, king. I mean, I just promote. Or actually, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too fast. Yeah, actually,
Well,
I'm just too
okay.
fast. Never mind.
What were
Yeah,
you
no, no.
thinking after? Okay, can I say I thought this was gonna be a draw because I thought the same position as before, but her pawn's on the fourth rank, not the fifth rank,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still a G pawn, so she can't come around this way. So I thought this was like this should be a draw, but then like trying to defend it, I couldn't find anything. So I think maybe it's winning for white still somehow, or I'm just bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to defend it as black in this. So
Yeah,
maybe h4 is not the first move.
looks right, but yeah, maybe it's not.
So maybe
Maybe
I'll play
also
black and we'll
G5.
try like a different first move. Huh? Oh,
Okay.
g5 is yeah.
I thought G5 was wrong for me, but because like I wanted to get this position, and because I thought it would be a draw, I think that was wrong. So I think G5 was wrong.
g5? Oh, oh,
Yeah,
oh.
like my whole
Oh,
point was
oh.
that if your pawn's on the fourth rank, then it's a draw. But since that's not true, I don't think G5 was right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'll just say they're saying a lot of good things, folks. I want to see how far they can get without me, helping them along so much. So I'm holding my tongue as much as I can. But they're saying a lot of important and accurate things about this endgame.
All right, do you want to try it again, Nushka, as
Yeah.
white this time?
Yeah, I can do that.
And yeah, okay.
New game, custom, 3 minute.
Maybe I'll start with g5.
Okay.
I don't know.
I also had a question about a position that I saw in one of like Jesse's US chess school videos. I don't know if you like the ones for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a young soul. So I had a question and I couldn't figure it out with myself or with the engine. So I wanted to ask you about it.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I accepted your thing.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
All right, so onward into the next game. This position is going to take them several more games to figure out than the previous positions. So king to g4, trying a new first move, right? Previous games were with h4. Okay, white advances. There's another option, right, where you would come down trying to sort of defend your pawn structure from below and then slowly push the black king back. White goes forward, black goes after the pawn, and now it's just pure calculation, right? You just have to look ahead. Here, 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 here. Again, the king g5 trick. Here it's not as clever as it was before, as black can push the pawn and win. First victory for black.
I think this is losing for me.
All right, we got a first
Can you
win
just
for
take
black.
on g6 and then promote at the same time? No? Wait, can you hear
Maybe.
me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Can
look
we
at
promote
that.
at the same time?
Yeah, I should have
And
played
then-
slower.
But then, then I think it's a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'll try something else now. I'll try g5 now and see what happens.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, they're trying a different move. Black did win with king g4, so that move was like pretty promising. Normally to some extent you want to try new moves for the side that didn't do well. So in other words, last game white didn't win, so normally you would try new moves for white and you'd play the same moves for black. But let's see how this goes. So black gets a different pawn trade than what we've seen before with g5. And now the general plan would be to go king g4 and h4 and trade one more pawn, or perhaps just to sit on the position. We'll see. All right, h3. So h3 here basically functions as a move to both regain the opposition for white and to keep the black king out of g4. So now black steps aside from white having the opposition. And normally the point of having the opposition is to flank, which would be king e4, which white does. King f6. And then normally you would retake the opposition, which white does. And then normally you'd flank again, but then black's going to get the side opposition. White has to prove that they have anything there. Yeah, so here if white played h4, then black plays king f6, holding, then black has the opposition. If white plays king e5, black plays king g5, and it's not clear how to make progress back this way. So white tries king e4, black gets king g5, king e5 for white. Opposition. It's going to force the black king back. They're both assuming now that h4, g4 is losing, and it is, so they're right to avoid that. Now here, h4 is a nice winning move. Black can't grab the opposition from you because you control the g5 square. Only winning move. Keeps working with the opposition. Black just comes back. Is white trying to do something fancy like creep around behind and take away all the space from black? And does that work? Ew. It looks like this might also win for white. I did not know about this technique myself when I set up this position. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. So the white king can come around here, then play h4 at some point. Whenever the black king goes to g4, you follow from behind and then capture their pawn. That's really nice. That's a great technique to be able to come up with on the spot in a blitz game. Yeah. So h4 gets tried. Looks like a good try. White's going to play g4, king f4, king f6, king g3, g5, king h3, g6, king g2, g7, h3, and queen with check. And white wins. The black pawn doesn't get to h2. It's a close call. Very close call. So this was a good thing for black to try here towards the end. Put some pressure on white. Yeah, it's a good idea. Put some pressure on the opponent. Going quickly, though. Definitely going to want a queen here. But double checking is a good idea if you've got a few seconds. Now, there's a number of wins here. The normal technique would be to start giving checks so that black doesn't have time to play h2. Another perfectly good move is this funny queen c4, so they can't play h2 because of checkmate. Yeah, checks are cleanest. And the king comes closer. She did it. She did it. Oh, now we get to see their mouse speed as well. Mm-hmm. The swords are out. The swords are out.
You little rat.
I was trying to flag you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I messed up somewhere there. Or maybe you just like outflank me eventually.
I still
Or
feel like there
maybe
should be some defense, but neither of us can find it.
I think maybe after king f3, move 3. H4 G4. Yeah, I don't know.
You
Yeah,
go
I
H4?
didn't really know what to do.
This is what I want.
Maybe there was a way to, yeah, I don't know. Or maybe
I mean, you played the
instead
line
of
that I was
playing king
scared of, and it,
f6, I don't know. Does it matter if I play on move 5? If I play king f6, does it matter if I play king g6 instead? Or is it transposed to the same thing? I guess king
I can
g6 you
still.
go king f4 anyway, and then I go king g6. Yeah. No, but then king f4 comes with.
I mean, you have the opposition now. That's a good point.
Yeah, so I wonder if I do the same thing, but I play king g6 instead of king f6, if it's a draw. Because I don't know, I don't see a way for you to break through if I just keep my king on g6 instead. And so that
I
way
mean,
every
what if
time
I
you
go
play
king
f4, I
e4?
play f6. King
Like
e5?
what?
Or
No, what if I go king e4 after you go king f6? Sorry. So king e4. You said king
basically I'll
g6
always go
instead
to
of king f6.
g6. Yeah, and then that way whenever you go to f4, I go to f6, and I just keep the
Yeah. So let's
opposition.
say king f4, king f6, king e4.
King f4, king f6, king e4.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just king g6, and then you play king e5, and I play king g5.
Then, yeah. Then, also, what if I don't play that? Like, what if I go king d5?
Then I just play king f5.
Then what if I go?
I think because I'm the one who has the opposition. I feel like I can hold you out.
Let me
Eventually.
think about it, and then maybe you're right, but let me think about it.
Or
Like, what if I
we
go?
can
Okay, this
respar
is
it,
stupid, but what about?
or do you want to just respar it and I'll just play king f6 instead? If I remember all the moves, I mean.
Respar sounds good at this point. You haven't reached like a quick conclusion by talking about it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember all the moves.
I mean, that's okay. Just play what your heart desires.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Are you getting it? Okay.
All right. So they start with the same exchange of pawns on g5 this game. h3 stopping king g4. Nice. King f5. So typically white would maybe go here for opposition. You could also flank around here, which she tries. Now the big question in this position is there h4 possible right here? Okay, it still doesn't save black. h4, g4, king here. White can win with king d5 or whatever. They don't have to have king f6 like in the game. This won't save black, but black's right to check it as white flanks over here that far away. It's right to check this. This kind of move can save you. This is just me showing something. This kind of move can save you in many a seemingly lost endgame. So that's what your hopes are made of, is your opponent just making a slip, not checking move like this on one move, and you going with it. Alright, so she doesn't go for it. She says this is not the moment, it doesn't work. So we get into this opposition scenario again. Right, what neither of them noticed in the previous discussion was that even if black had the opposition, like let's say black played here and white foolishly went here and black got the opposition. In these positions, anytime black has the opposition, white can win with h4. Taking away g5 and reclaiming the opposition, king has to move somewhere, and the white king will always be able to make its way to h5 once it's that far up, as pointed out by Dabo. Alright, and here with white having the opposition against king here, h4 check, king g4, king f6, king g3, king g5 looks winning for white. But king here and king here followed by h4 and then coming back, that was like really, really clinical. She's already used it once in a previous game, so I think she'll go back to it. King g5 played, king goes to f7, yeah, just like before. And I think they know what's going to happen next. I think they've got an inkling. Brutal, just brutal. Pawn takes pawn should be able to just walk all the way up here. But white repeats what they did last game. It worked last game. A little bemused smile here from Rachel, knowing where it's going to end. All right, and this time we don't play it out.
Ce n'est pas la même, mon ami.
I keep the opposition.
C'était la
Maybe
même.
there was a
Yeah,
way, but
you gave it up early. I think.
yeah, I messed up some. Yeah, after king d4, I was like, wait, what? So maybe I didn't need to play king f5. I don't know.
Wait, king d4 where?
Like moving
in the
three,
beginning?
I played king f5, and I think I lost the opposition.
Wait, why don't you just go king f? I thought you were gonna go king f6 or king like e6 or something like that.
Yeah, I should have played king g6 probably.
King g6? Then
Right.
king e5. Like, I'm
sorry,
always
move
gonna-
3.
Oh, sorry. Oh, instead of king f5, king g6?
Yeah, I think king f5 was wrong.
But then king e4.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to keep the opposition.
I don't think you can. That's the thing. Maybe we were wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe this is just winning for white.
Well, that was trying G5. Maybe King G4 though. I don't think we found a thing after King G4, did we? Because I think that game was a draw, right? Was it? I don't remember.
The way I played it, it was.
Yeah. So should we try it again with King G4 and see if white still wins?
I don't know. Can I think about it?
Yeah.
All right, so first of all, chat, props to the players for keeping straight what the options are and which ones led to wins or draws. Sometimes when there's a few options, you can start getting confused about which one worked and which one didn't. So they're recapping that with G5, white has won a couple games. But with King to G4, which I think they only tried once, white didn't win that time. And then there's H4, which they've tried on the first move as well, which led to one draw and one win. So they have to keep those straight. If they want to claim that white's winning, white has to be winning against all three of those options for black. If either of them thinks that black is drawing, they should probably have one of those three moves in mind at this point and sort of believe with this move I can draw. And maybe two of the moves draw, maybe three of the moves draw. But to say black's drawing at this point, you have to have at least one of those moves in mind that you think you can really sort of back it up with black.
I still think white's pushing, but maybe King G4 is a draw. But I still kind of want to play it out.
Mm-hmm. Definitely makes sense to play some more games where you are, by the way.
Yeah.
Because like if you're saying King G4, I mean that's a move you guys have only tried once, right? So.
Yeah.
Play it out.
Yeah, let's play it out. Okay. I sent a rematch. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There it is. They're going to say something sweet to each other now as they mute. And the battle's on. So we're going to try King G4 now. Welcome to the dojo, Virginia. So the first time they tried King G4, I think the game went King E4, King H3, King E5, King H2. Black ate the pawns really quickly, and white managed to blunder and lose, though white could still draw. So this game, we're trying something different from white. The king's coming under his own structure to protect it from black. Black plays King H3, going after the next pawn, and white has to go further under to try and protect it and eventually dig out. Now, this next move's quite important for black, as there are three candidate moves. One of them draws and two of them lose. All right. Black did it. Found the only reasonable one of these moves. G5, I guess, is pretty obvious. White takes. Goes walking. So it's really between H4 and king back to G4. If you go king back to G4, this position becomes winning for white. As the king gets back up, white's preparing to go H3 and then king F3 and keep pushing the opponent back. So, so H4, very nice. You're threatening to take. White has a few candidate moves, mainly G takes, but if you think about it carefully, you'll see that king F back to F2 is also a candidate move, because there's a new possibility of king F2, and if they take your pawn, you take, they chase you, you sack, and you run. And their king is kind of in the way of the pawn, so this might even still work for white, right? It's worth calculating. So king F2 gets tried in the game, so we're going to get to see this option, the more complicated idea for white. Beautiful. Black traded. I didn't go for king H2. And now king to G4. King G2. White's got to keep the pawn defended. And if black backs up, white will be winning with king F3. But G5 right here. And black has done it. I have no idea who's white or black anymore, by the way, folks. Just the clock's being so messed up on chess.com. But whoever's got black, they've done it. Cool. So we get a
Well,
whole
Yeah.
different variation there.
I think maybe if you took on H2, I was winning. But this is pretty, yeah. This is
take
just
on
raw.
H2, I'm dead. You take on H4, and I can't stop both.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is that what I said? Did I misspeak?
No, that's what you said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
agreeing.
sorry. You just said take on H2 and you're winning, I think is what you said. Yeah.
Did I say you're winning? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I thought I said. I meant I'm winning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what I was hoping for, but alas.
Yeah. King F2 is a very clever tribe, but it seems like that game was very well played.
Yeah.
King. Yeah.
Draw.
Okay. Well, okay, hold on. After King G4, King F2, King H3, can you play King F3? Because
King
if I take it, you
H3,
play
King
G4,
F3.
and I think you win. I can't take on H2, I don't think. I think after King F3, I don't know what to do. Maybe H4? But H4, G4, like, I don't know what to do after King F3. I think taking on H2 loses, I think. After taking on H2 and then G4. And then H4 loses to G5, or sorry, H4 loses to G4. And I think I'm in Zugzwang after
Anti-queen?
King F3.
Wait, sorry. Can I say, you said King H3, King F3, and then
Yeah.
you wanted to play, what did you say? Oh, no.
I think white wins here. I don't see a way to hold for black.
King F3, and then you would take on H2.
I mean, my only options are H2, take on H2 or H4, and it looks like they both lose.
Well, okay, so you
Yeah.
take on H2, and then, what did you say?
G4.
But then I go H4.
Can you play King F2
Uh,
after that? And your king can't leave?
Yeah, but what does your king do?
We don't need the
Oh,
king, right? Because
that's
the
true.
F pawn just runs.
Mm,
I think white
wait,
wins.
wait. I think, okay.
Or
King
it's a draw
F2,
or something.
H3,
Okay.
right?
And then F5.
F5, King H1.
Okay.
If you ever go to G3, I go to G1.
Right. Then we play F6. Or okay, well
And
maybe
I
you
play.
take first, so then you, yeah, maybe it's a stalemate then.
So what are you gonna play?
I don't know, F6.
Okay, then I play H2.
And I play F7. Yeah.
And then I play G5.
Okay. Then. Can I play King E?
Oh,
Ooh.
King
There has to be some
G3.
kind of like trick with
No, King
King
G3,
G3.
King G1, and then if you queen,
Oh yeah, then it's
if
a
I
win for white.
queen,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
mate,
yeah.
but I can queen with a knight or whatever.
But then I still win, no?
Probably, yeah, but I just want to
Yeah.
see.
King G3, King G1, promote queen, and you can't promote queen because of Queen F2 mate. And then if you promote to knight, I just move. Yeah.
I just really want something like this to work, but I don't think it does.
That variation was so much more complicated than people expected it to be at the beginning, I bet. That's a super, super good calculation.
Should we play it out? I guess we kind of just did.
Yeah, we just
But-
did.
Yeah.
There was like some Danya was teaching Andrea some endgame, and it was like a similar concept to this.
Yeah.
Oh wait, didn't we do this? Like, also I think Rachel's frozen, but I don't know if it's just
Oh,
for
what?
me. On Discord,
Am I
are you
still frozen? Am I? Hello?
Hello.
I hear you both.
Like her face cam is frozen.
Rachel's video does look frozen, yeah. I
Yeah.
agree on that.
Anyone? Oh, it has 2 dots.
Getting worse, huh?
Oh. Okay. Probably just give it a minute.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
So that was a beautiful variation there with F5.
Mm-hmm.
With King F2, very nice. And then
Mm-hmm.
F5, whether black took it or not, checkmating variation for white was sound, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. If black took on F5 when you play F5, then you have to push past it, leaving them an F pawn to avoid stalemate.
Mm. Yeah. This position looks so like I don't know, it looks so normal, but there's a lot of stuff in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
that was a cool
I
variation.
think okay. I think I might have dropped. I think Wi-Fi died. Just like mildly concerning because I forgot to connect my Ethernet, so I'm on the same Wi-Fi basically as her.
Mm. So you're just waiting to die yourself.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hello? Hmm. Yeah, apparently she's still live, so the stream didn't F, which
That's,
is good. Yeah, stream's still on.
that's amazing. Stream is still on.
Okay, I mean you're
There we go.
here, but can you hear us?
She's here, but she's not here.
So many tech issues this stream. Can't see or hear.
Okay.
Okay. What do you advise that we do?
But still streaming. All right.
Uh,
Maybe if she can't reconnect, we could call it here.
yeah.
You got very, very close to solving this final one.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. No, it's not sad. You did great work. That was what, 4 endgames in about 2 hours?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
This last one is the trickiest one. So this variation that we came up with at the end, in analysis, right? With King F3,
Mm-hmm.
King takes H2,
G4.
G4, H4, and then this brilliant King F2. Beautiful move, King F2. This doesn't ruin the aesthetic beauty of King F2 at all, but black has an easy draw in that position with pawn takes G4 check. And then
Sorry, I'm just gonna join on my phone until
Okay.
I'm just gonna restart my computer. I don't know what happened.
All right. Great.
This is just skill issue. This is just a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the pawn takes
Well, it's
first,
the
then it's
same thing.
stalemate, right? Or
If the pawn takes
we
on
were
G4 check, then after King G4, the black king can just sort of, bother the white pawn from behind. And that's a
yeah.
simple
We
draw
looked
that
at this
you
before too.
both found earlier on in a different position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wait, sorry. So after King G4?
Mm-hmm. After King takes G4, for example, black would play King G2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay, wait. I'm gonna go on your account and see because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
It's funny, I didn't even consider it because it looks like white's winning, but yeah, we did see this before.
Oh yeah,
Saw
yeah,
the
yeah.
exact thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Endgames are so hard.
We just missed one
Yeah,
thing.
somewhat, but you got a lot of things right, and I really did not help you much tonight, right?
Yeah, I could see it in your eyes. You were like,
What could you see in my eyes?
like a like cogs turning, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
wanting to say something. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
But I think the important thing we saw is you were able to get really far through a bunch of positions without too much help, right? Without
Hmm.
basically no help at all.
Hmm.
Um, you know, the most I did was once or twice tell you play another game versus keep talking about it. Um, and there are times when talking about it is useful too. And other times where if the analysis is going too far, it's just faster to play a game at that kind of a time control. So obviously that time control puts a lot of pressure on you. It's hard to play really well, but the time usage can go different ways in different games. Sometimes you start off like playing quickly till you get some ideas, and then you can play a slower game following some ideas that you've come up with.
Hmm.
Other times you start out playing something slowly, and then as you think your skill gets better, you see if you can still do it at a fast time control. So for example, rook and bishop versus rook endgame is something that like masters should practice against each other, being able to defend it from the rook side, being able to put pressure from the rook and bishop side. You should be able to frequently, flag someone or get them to blunder with the rook and bishop.
Hmm.
So that's one where you would start playing it with, 10 minutes and 30 seconds. And then if you manage to play it well, you would slowly like speed up and see, can I do this under more intense pressure and still maintain those moves? But I thought these end games here were decent ones to play kind of quickly, try out a few ideas, and then hone in on which ideas you think are good. And yeah, you managed to solve 4 end games in 2 hours. I think that's a good rate. The last end game you were very, very close to solving. So let's just do like a final mention on that end game. What would be your final assessment so far? I know you were maybe like 1 or 2 games away from being certain, but
I don't know. Does Rachel want to go first or I go first?
Draw.
Yeah, I agree. Draw.
okay. And of G5, H4, and King G4, do you think which?
I'd probably King G4. I think puts up the best fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm,
What do you think,
yeah,
Anushka? Yeah.
I also think King G4.
Yeah. What about G5 and H4? Do you think like they might still also save it, or did they look really bad?
I think H4 was okay. I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
it's losing, so
But it's losing.
well,
You thought it was okay, but it's losing.
yeah,
So now you'd say only King G4.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm like pushing you or nudging you, or if you're 90% confident. If you played another game, you'd be 100% confident. But you have reached the correct answers,
Mm.
right? So that position there, the only drawing line for black is King G4. The basic default for a position down a pawn in a king and pawn ending is that it's lost, right? So the default for black is that they're lost, and it's good that, I mean, it shows some basic knowledge and skills from you that neither of you tried playing something like King E6 or King F6 in the starting position and just sit there down a pawn, right? Because it
Mm.
will eventually lose. Um, the G5 line was losing. You found like a great plan of bringing the king around to like F7 and G7 from behind. There's one detail that you hadn't quite figured out with the opposition situations, which is when there's a king on E6 and G6 and black has the opposition, white can always just play H4. You've got a pawn move left in reserve. You can advance the wrong pawn forward, but once you have the opposition, the white king will be able to walk in and eat the H pawn, and you'll be up 2 pawns.
Okay.
Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
I never even considered it.
In the
Yeah.
G5 FG positions, right? You march the king up, and you guys were like fighting about whether or not you've got the opposition. You weren't 100% certain that it was a win, but white did manage to win each game you played. It was definitely a win, and there's an extra tool at white's disposal that there's a lot of positions you play H4 and black's just dead. Then your king
Okay.
walks in. In addition to that, I think the original move G5 should lose pretty clearly to king f3 for white, just stopping king g4. If black trades on f4, gf4, gf4, you eventually push up the board as white and take the h-pawn with your king, and you've got 2 pawns up. So I think g5 also loses very clearly to king f3, and I think it also loses to h3. Just preventing king g4 as well. And then the move h4, yeah, white should play king f3 as you did in one of the games that white won, right? King f3 and then hg, hg, and black can never play g5 because of g4 check f5. The g4 f5 position versus g5, which you had initially thought like, oh, maybe this will draw now because the pawn's not on the 6th rank, it's on the 5th rank, right?
Yeah.
Basically, when it's on the 6th rank, it's winning because you sack the pawn and your king walks through. When it's on the 5th rank, there's no stalemate, so you can always play f6, king f5, and then take the g-pawn. And that position pushed a row back is stalemate, which is why you can't win that way in the other position you guys had.
Okay.
But the more normal way to win with 2 pawns placed like that next to your opponent's pawn is you push it a square, you come through and eat the 2nd pawn with your king. That's like the default technique. But when it's on the 6th rank, would there be the stalemate save for black? And then you can actually win by sacking the pawn because your pawn's far enough, you get the king on the 6th rank.
Okay. So I made that connection wrong. Was I right? Is that from Chess Fundamentals?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. I guess it's probably in lots of things.
It's probably in a few endgame books. I don't know for sure. But yeah. So basically, you got it all. That one's quite tricky, right? Lots of branches, lots of calculations, lots of techniques. There's some cool calculations with this h4, g4, king f4 line. So you did a lot of things really well in all this. And yeah, I hope that we have proven to the 2 of you and given you the experience of doing it, but also shown you what you can do on your own and how far you can advance with these kind of positions. When I tried to read an endgame book for like the 2nd or 3rd time in my life, at the time I still thought that endgames were more or less like boring and difficult. I tackled a book which had a bunch of theoretical positions, right? Like king and pawn endings, then rook and pawn endings, etc. But I read the book with a friend, and basically every position we would play out against each other. Because when I just read the comments in the book, it says blah, 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 and it's an obvious theoretical win. Or blah, 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 and black can resist. And I just, like, I didn't even know. Like, the positions where they would end their variations, I was just... And I don't like just saying, if you say so, right? I mean, I was like, I have no idea what's going on here. Just feeling completely confused. And so we would just play everything out against each other till we agreed. And it was really slow going. It took us a month to read 1 chapter. So, like 40, 50 pages in a month. And we were working probably 6 hours a day just on that book, plus a couple hours on other things. So it can be really slow going, but then you really, really have it, and now I just feel like you could put any king and pawn ending in front of me. And
Nushka, where are our 6-hour king and pawn?
I can turn through it eventually.
Yeah, where are they?
Yeah.
But then the other thing is, I found it more fun, right? I could have sat there for even more hours by myself just being confused, and I wouldn't have advanced with the same, inexorable progress as when you've got a partner.
Yeah. Sarah Herman, Zafkat, told us she did the same thing with her brother. She just not necessarily the same thing, but they went through Endgame together, and then I remember Rachel and I tried to do it, but I feel like we never played the positions out against each other. We just read the book, we would popcorn, and she would read a paragraph and then I would read a paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
And we would do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we should do that.
And did you feel like it was an endgame book that you could more or less understand? Like, what was the general feeling there? Like, I get it, I'm confused, or you get it?
I thought it was difficult, but there was nothing that we couldn't get.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I think the retention's definitely not the same when you just read it.
Yeah.
Sparring, it's okay, you see the line all the way through.
Yeah.
Usually if I read it, I forget it in like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so hopefully you're retaining things from all these sessions. And, 10 hours of work that you retain is generally going to be better than 100 hours of work you forget. So definitely
Yeah.
if you can get some retention, that's going to be a big plus on your work.
Yeah, God willing.
Yeah. All right, so that's
Yes.
it for our third episode of Endgame Sensei. Thanks again to Rachel and Anushka for doing this in front of everybody.
Thank you, David.
Thank you,
This is
Dave.
so helpful. It's
Yeah.
insane. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then before we leave the folks on stream, Anushka, you had a question about something
Oh,
else, right?
yes.
Position from
I
Jesse.
I did. I will find it in my YouTube history.
Yeah.
It's a dark place. I'm joking. Okay. Um, it was not. Oh, maybe it wasn't with Jesse. Okay, I lied. It was with Kostya and Johan Helston.
Okay.
But uh, I did watch a different one. I think an Alekine's Games one. Yeah. Oh, and I thought maybe Rachel would find this thing, but I didn't end up sending this to her or not. So we can maybe look at it here. I don't have a fen either, so I'm kind of just floundering. But this is the picture.
All right. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an opposite colored bishop position. Let me try and put it up in the classroom, huh?
Yeah.
Add a game, set up position, clear the board. Black is here.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. The light square's in a weird place. There's a light square on E7. Oh no, the black king is. Which direction are they going?
They're going.
Oh, that's E6. Okay, I'm
Bishop is
missing a
on
rank.
G2.
Okay.
Yeah.
E6, F5,
Black bishop on
G4,
G2.
pawn on A4, bishop on G2. White pawn's here.
My bad.
Bishop is on E5
Muting
and
myself.
the pawn's on C5.
Oh wait, you're echoing.
My bad. Part 2.
It's better.
Yeah.
I could also he presented it to the kids as like you could either play this move or this move and one of them loses, go figure it out. And like in my mind I was like I don't even know why those are I mean like they're probably like I don't know, they're two very normal moves. I don't understand,
Okay.
why he picked those two.
Okay. Let me redo the. It's black to move then in the position?
Yeah, it's black to move. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Do this, like this, and then just change it to black to move. Okay. We may not even need to move because we might just discuss it. We'll see. But okay. So here's the position. I've got it up in the classroom, right? It's black
Yeah, I
to
see
move.
it.
Flip the board.
And okay. And he said there's just two candidate moves.
I mean, he presented two candidate moves. He was like, I think to make it like a easy question for the kids.
A little
like,
bit clearer. Okay.
Yeah. So I could say them, but I could also not. Yeah.
Okay. So black's down 2 pawns. The c5 one seems firmly blockaded. And then the h1 is going to be tricky, right? It's going to maybe try and play h4 or something at the right time. Is there any case where white could play a trick with e4? Bishop takes e4 and somehow overwork the structure? No. F3? So if white ever played f3 and black took with the bishop, then h4 would be winning for white. So anytime white plays f3, black would probably want to take with the g pawn.
And the G pawn goes.
and then the G pawn goes,
Oh,
right?
I just figured it out.
Yeah,
Sorry.
cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know the answer and I still don't understand why, but
Hmm.
actually just like looking at it right now, I understand why.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, H1 Chess rated you, Rachel.
Oh, yay! Hi, H1 Chess. We're unfortunately about to end our stream, but we just did a sparring Endgame Sensei session with Chess Dojo. So thank you. Thank you so much for the raid. Although we will be raiding soon. But so wait, could you summarize the, because I've never seen this position before. Could you just summarize the idea? Oh,
Me?
Yeah,
or
sure.
someone.
If you
Yeah.
figured it out.
Okay. I mean the way he presented it was you can either go bishop e4. Oh, I can't make arrows.
Hmm.
Uh yeah, or bishop c6. And
Okay.
they both look like they kind of do similar things, but
Hmm.
one of them loses and one of them is okay. Uh and the point is and David got this kind of that if you put the bishop on c6, black can go or white can go e4, bishop
Hmm.
takes e4,
Yeah.
and then f3. And if bishop takes f3, then h4 wins. And if pawn takes f3, now that the pawn has been pushed from e3 to e4, the bishop can block the pawn from promoting by going to d4. I did not see that the bishop could block.
Hmm.
Now I was like, what is the difference? Because in my mind, I was like, if the bishop goes to e3, and then you just like do something random, right? Like the bishop was ending up on e4 anyway,
Yeah.
is the thing. Yeah. So I was like, what is the difference? But the difference is that there's an e3 pawn, and that means that the bishop
Right.
can't get
So
back and
bishop
like
e4,
block
you
the.
block the e3 pawn, so white can never use the f3 break.
Yeah.
And once the bishop's on e4, f3 you could always take with the g pawn, and h4 you can always take it.
Yeah.
And if bishop c6, then e4 wins immediately. Yeah, evil. And if king c6, let's see if e4 wins immediately there. e4.
This is so brutal, man. It's actually insane.
e4. Bishop takes f3. God, white's only got that one h pawn left. That's it.
But what
HG.
about if bishop takes h4 and then g takes h3? What's going on there?
Mm-hmm. Bishop here, h4, gh, king takes,
Oh, king takes
c5,
like this.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess the white king has to walk all the way around to h2. Black king comes here. Maybe we should just attack the pawn from behind. I don't know. e5, king here. e4. We keep running away and hoping it's going to work out.
What if king c4 before you play e2?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, king c4. Now the white king's close enough.
Ah, okay, yeah.
The white king will come deal with the pawn. King b3. There's always bishop here.
And then king d3
Yeah,
instead of king b3.
We'll just go king f1 and just get under that pawn.
Ah, okay.
Hold it all together. It's a very close call, even all this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't realize for sure that white was already threatening this e4 trick. I was thinking that white might play bishop d4. I know it's black's move in the starting position, right? But let's say I play king c6. I was thinking maybe it would be bishop d4 threatening this e4 f3 idea. But of course, if bishop d4, black could play bishop e4, stopping the idea. And then, yeah, so that's the idea of this, I guess.
Is the vibe just to like leave the bishop on e4
Yeah.
forever and like move the king around? Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be, right? So like if I go king c6, bishop d4, bishop e4 holding things together, then actually my king's just going to go back to d7 or something next move pretty much, right? Like king e5, king d7.
Okay.
Yeah, no real breakthroughs from there. The
Yeah.
king has
I'm
to
glad
be
I
on
I
f4
caught
for
that.
the f3 h4 thing to be in play.
Yeah. Okay. Hope that was mildly interesting for chat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool puzzle. That's one of those positions that you definitely see often as a puzzle, right? Like a surprising move, and then people will be like, "Oh, it's a puzzle. I see. It's because of this, this, and that." But if you get it in a game, you basically never suspect that white's threatening e4 f3, right? Like you blunder into that every time as black in a game where no one tells you it's a puzzle with one drawing move.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was a cool end game. I really like the U.S. chess school lectures. I think those are really helpful.
Yeah. You seem to be studying a lot, Anushka. You're always
No.
referencing things you've been studying, right? Oh, this book, oh, that video, oh, this series of lectures.
Am I name dropping?
No, no, not
I sound cringe.
not in like a not in like a oh yeah, I was hanging out in a bar with Magnus last week and we were
Yeah,
just talking
exactly.
about,
Like, yeah, my buddy Levon, he dropped this
yeah.
oh, no, I'm definitely not. I'm like, I was just like talking to a friend about this today that I feel like I've been taking chess for granted and like not actually working that hard and then complaining even though I haven't actually been working that hard. It's like
Mm,
I need to start like, trying again.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you have a study plan you're following currently? Or do you have like some top of the mind items that you're working on?
No, so in my mind, locking in is just like now all the free time that I have instead of like um watching chess videos, I'm like forcing myself to do tactics and like, playing the endgame bot
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I used to do. And then because it didn't like seem like good studying, I like just stopped doing chess puzzles. And then I was like, oh, like I'll save my like tactics for when I read like, my tactics book
Mm-hmm.
for chess dojo, and then I can put it into my heat map.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's been months since I've done like an actual chess puzzle, and I would like look at them, and so I was like, I just need to stop. I just need to start doing them again. So I've done like a bunch, and I'm gonna try to keep that up.
Yeah. Yeah, months
Yeah,
without doing any calculation is too long. Um,
yeah,
Tactics is not what I was going to like immediately suggest, but if it's been months, then yeah, it's got to get into the rotation a little bit, right? Tactics is
yeah.
not something that one needs to like pound nonstop at your level, but it's something that you can't go a month without doing calculation practice without losing some steps, right? So
Yeah.
I would say one session per week is a minimum. Like one hour session of tactics a week would be a minimum for you. I would
Okay.
recommend that for you, a 1 hour session is probably about the right amount of time to do tactics at a go.
Mhm.
Like 5-10 minutes is not great, and 3 hours is kind of wasteful overkill. So
Yeah.
I would guess that a 1 hour session is good, and you should do at least one per week and up to one a day, maybe. If you were studying chess every day, you could do one every day. Um, so somewhere between 1 and 7 sessions per week would be good.
Yeah.
Um, but once you're doing 1 or 2 sessions, my priority would not be to like add more and more sessions of tactics per week.
Mhm.
Like as long as you're doing 1 or 2, that's like reasonable. Then the clear priority is analyzing the games that you've just played at the Chicago Open.
You're right. I do need to get back on that. They're just so painful to look at, but yeah, I need to keep inputting them.
Okay. So you knew that and were hoping it wouldn't come up, or?
No. I did the first three, I think.
Oh, great.
And then all the finals.
Okay.
Let's put it on a back burner for a while. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll put those in
Well,
too.
if you've already done three, like a good thing you could already start with is you could discuss the three that you have analyzed with, Rachel or somebody else.
Mm, I'd be down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I think I did the last one on stream. So
Okay.
I did it with chat.
So you got
Yeah.
feedback from chat on your evaluations and your positions and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Lots
Okay.
of feedback.
Okay. It's good.
Yeah. But I should definitely get the rest of them done.
Yeah.
So I will do that.
Cool. Well, I
Do you
mean,
have
if
any
you've
recommend? Oh, sorry,
oh, I
sorry,
was just
sorry.
gonna say, if you've done half, that's good. You don't have to be like rueful when I bring it up. You've done half of them in a week. That's really quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the putting the times in that like takes a really long time for me because I write them down
Hmm.
also like 75 and then I have to be like and then the whole like putting the game like 2 hours and then I have to analyze after that and then I have to like I like analyze without the engine and you mismade one and I'm like
Yeah.
so
So you're trying to tell me that converting 75 to 115 is like an obstacle?
no but it's like every single actually I was gonna talk to Matt about but yeah like with every single move like is like 82 and then 75 and then 68 and then I have to be like okay now I type 0 there's no like continuation of the thing but it'd be cool if there was like a AI like you take a picture of your score sheet and then it can like it know when all times were like I kind of like putting the moves in all my moves still like put it in again from the score sheet just to like really make myself live out but like the timestamps I like don't it's like that is a pain
Okay.
um
You don't have
yeah
to put them in, by the way. Like, whatever the pain
okay
point is for anyone out there annotating their games, it may not be inputting the times, it might be some other pain point. Whatever the pain point is, you should always consider maybe like skipping the pain point to be able to do more of the activity, right?
Mm,
Can be good.
yeah I suppose so
Anushka, do
yeah
you have a U.S. chess school video recommendation? I'm like looking at it now, and there's like 136 videos that are like an hour long.
so yeah I watch different ones for different moods you see if I want to do some actual learning then I look for interested
Wait, you
in
just wait, you
but
just cut out. When you want to do actual learning, what did you say?
then I like usually go into it like the title of the thing. If it's like Endgames or something, I like make sure it's like a thing that I'm like in the mood to learn. But sometimes it's fun to just like watch, Sam Shanklin yelling at kids. I think that too. So whatever you're in the mood for.
Real. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
just
don't
want to
think
know
I
if there
learned
was
very
like
much
one
from those ones.
specific one where you're like, that really helped. Okay.
I liked Shanklin's like Rook Pawn Endgame one. But like it like took me like a couple of watches to even like kind of understand. I think it really only helped me like kind of get a sense for how strong players think about positions like that. I didn't actually like remember anything about the and it kind of like oh like what do you look for to see if like 4 versus 3 is a draw versus interesting and hopeful probably 'cause if I got that but that one was also funny because I think he was like writing a book so he was just like rattling off very then like, "Huh, I don't understand why and then he'd be like fine like play out a move and then the kid would make the move and he'd be like okay but then G5 and then King F6 and this is and the kid's like no so yeah I like that video
Your audio is pretty choppy, but I got the idea. You like seeing Sam.
oh
Yeah, I think I wasn't sure if it was cutting out for me or if it was cutting out for both of
No,
us.
I
Yeah.
think
sorry it
yeah.
might be a Wi-Fi thing or it might be because I was like jiggling my Stanley around that's my bad I'm sorry
No, no, it's
It
okay.
did just
We
stop
heard.
yeah
cutting out now. But yeah, seeing Sam beat the kids down with millions of variations. Nobody has any idea. No one can
yeah
keep up.
yeah
Yeah, we know the feeling. Um,
yeah
yeah, but you also, Rachel, you could be analyzing your games from Chicago, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm also going through. I mean, yeah, I don't want to put an engine in at all. So I'm just like slowly trickling through them.
Great.
People are like, "Can you send me your?" Like, I haven't really inputted them all yet because I'm
Hmm.
still, yeah, I just want to like take my time with it.
Yeah, and if there are people who want to see your games, you can also input them without the comments yet, and they can play through the games and wait for the comments.
Fair, that's true. Yeah, I might just do that first. Yeah.
Sometimes I will try to just dump a few things that I thought about during the game, and then later come back and check if those things were right or wrong or whatever, right? Because I'm curious, like there'll be like the points that I'm curious about, right? Like I couldn't decide between these two moves. Here's how I made the decision in the end, and then later I'll come back and check if it was a good or bad decision, or whatever, sort of go through my thought process. But some of that stuff, sometimes it's useful to drop a few things in immediately of what you thought during the game when you still remember it. But you don't have to be daunted by how much work it might be to answer it later. You don't have to do everything thoroughly the first pass. You don't have to do it at all the first pass, right? You just dump the moves in. All right.
I also noticed. One last thing. I noticed when I put my games in the Lee Chess study, it was like I had the urge to turn on the engine way more. I did that like right after every game too. So I would like if there was like a move that I was confused about or like something, then it was like I could not resist the urge to check the engine. But when I put it into I don't really have that urge. So that's nice because I think I don't know, maybe it's like you associate one thing with one thing, like online games versus like your study place. Yeah,
right. So when you're on Dojo, you like feel like we're watching, or you feel like it's the study place.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, I mean, I'm happy to answer any of the questions you have, but if we're good, we can also.
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I wish everybody in all chats in all areas of the world the best. Take care, everybody. Have a great morning or night or whatever it is. And we'll see you another time.
Yay. All right.
Should we raid someone?
Yeah.
I'll find someone very quickly. Chess category, we pick person. Drama Queen's playing dice chess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, GM Bongsu who? Live lesson with Forky Chess. GM Bongsu?
I don't see it.
GMBANCSOO.
Oh, okay. I see this person.
Yeah.
Okay. We can raid them.
Okay. We can raid anyone, I don't mind, but yeah, I've never raided them before. We can raid
No,
anyone.
let's
it
do
looks like
that.
they just started. I've never raided them before.
Yeah. Lots of French people in the chess category also. But yeah. Lots of French people in the chess category.
Okay. Thank you so much, David. This is awesome.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, this is a great study session.
Chat, say thank you.
We need to say thank you.
You're good, everybody. Yeah. You're good.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna send over my raid.
Same.
Yes.
Bye,
okay,
chat.
me too. Bye, everyone.